It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Crowd is set again. Oh, John, boom. Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the car.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenny Walker! Touchdown! Spotty!
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the 23rd day of May 2023. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports and Network. Danny Cahala, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you to join the program at any time. You can text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000, sports radio to 21000. Our Myers Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, at Facebook, X's and Bros, and, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on both BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. Add a .com to that to find our website and find us all individually. Danny Cahala is a Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AAC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. How are you this morning? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. Late night last night with the hockey and the basketball that was on. My goodness.
The Tigers played later.
The Tigers did play later as well. I saw it was, 5-5 in the 8th inning or something like that?
Yeah, it went 10.
Man. Tough night for you. But good night for them.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good win.
Good way to start it off. You win.
Yeah. Lots of bullpen arms, though, used, so. Big Ed going out there today. Need a strong 7 or 8.
Ooh, asking for 8, asking for a lot. He'll be all right. He might go complete game. 12 strikeouts. 2 hits, 1 walk. Easy work for Eduardo. He can do it. Did you call him Big Ed, by the way?
Yeah, I just went with it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that... I was like, wait a minute, is that really a thing? They don't really actually call him Ed, do they? They might. I don't know.
Eddie. Ed, and Eddie.
We don't have 2 more Eds on the team, though. We would need 3 Eds in total, in all of them to get significant time on the field.
Well, they just make it up because Tyler Alexander's nickname is Todd the Painter. So
Todd the Painter, huh?
Yes.
Painting was a gift, Todd. I'm going to keep it.
I like the shirts that they used to wear, the T-shirts that had the guy on the ladder that was painting the corners. Did you ever see those shirts?
Oh, yeah. Yes, those were great. I think that was I think Michael Fulmer maybe
might have
was
started that?
part. I think he was like maybe part of that company or something. Like maybe had a sponsorship deal with them. Yeah, I loved those.
Yeah, I thought they were. They were pretty creative and good t-shirt design nonetheless. We had some very, very important games in both the Western Conference Finals of the NBA and the Eastern Conference Finals of the National Hockey League. We'll get you up to speed on what took place in both of those games on today's program as, wow, man, winner, chicken dinner. LaFlop got LaSwept last night. Oh, baby. Nikola Jokic had a step-back 3 as the shot clock was winding down off of 1 foot ball behind his head, just chucked it, went up, went in, and I mean LeBron was on fire.
Yeah, I was
last night.
I was telling Ryan a few minutes ago that everybody talks about building their video game player or video game numbers when in reality that's Jokic. That's what you look like when you're putting up video game numbers. You just like Nikola Jokic, dribble out, just turn around and chuck up a three. That's how it is in 2K.
Yeah, I mean he's he is quite a specimen because he's not like the most athletic guy out there, which is it's really fun to watch, you know. And he played a little bully ball and picked up 2 offensive fouls on back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, that was seeing those. I was like, yo, because you might cost your team the game here because I don't know where your head is at in these 2 possessions, especially that second one.
I'm going right through LeBron is where his head was at.
Yeah, it's like he saw Matt Ishbia down in the paint. It was like, oh, I have to do something inappropriate here.
Like he saw Matt Ishbia in the paint. Oh man, that would have been. That'd be. I'd pay to see that. Ishbia's just got to run next to Jokic and then take the offensive foul like LeBron. See if he gets up. LeBron's a lot of weight. Like that's a big human being. I don't care. Like he didn't flop on that. Jokic sent him flying. Just said, "Get out of here," and it was clear as day too. I mean,
it was
extended, like it's like
shoulder down, and when you see the elbow fly up when you're making your drive to the basket, that's when you know it's like, all right, you were trying to do this.
Yeah, you intentionally came out there like I'm going through.
You weren't trying to get position; you were trying to run through him.
I wonder if he forgot how many fouls he had, even though he just picked one up.
Which
if he didn't realize that he had 4 going into that play, and that would make it 5. If he was just frustrated and just said, "Here, take this," pow.
Which on the replay, that one was questionable.
The 4th one?
Yeah. The one where LeBron stepped in late.
The old
in live time, I was like, "Oh, Jokic, what are you doing? That's an easy charge." But then, once they showed the replay, it's like, no, it's like LeBron slid in when Jokic started going up.
I hate the play. I also don't like the call either. But the only way to ever get that to stop is to just stop calling the late slide in.
I say, well, that's the NBA, though.
Right.
You hear a lot of Americans claim they want soccer to be big in America. It's like, we already have it in the NBA with how much flopping, how, like, all the type of that goes on.
Wait a minute. I thought it was rivalry week this week. Isn't it between Orlando and Inter Miami?
Sure. Does David Beckham still play for the LA Galaxy? That was the last time I paid attention in the MLS.
No, he actually owns Inter Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was rivalry week. I mean, between the soccer and the F1. I mean, they're trying to go all Euro on us down there.
It's Monaco actually this week.
Are they in? Yeah. Wow. Monaco. Sounds nice. Sounds really nice. I would love to go. Monte Carlo seems like it would be a really good time. They have some very strange citizenship laws there, too. Like, it's very difficult to become a citizen of Monaco.
It's not, well, I could become a citizen of Ireland. I already technically am. I would just have to
but Ireland's not
proof.
Monaco. You could become a citizen of,
tax-free
Botswana,
banks.
too.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
Well, one of my grandparents was not born in Botswana.
And you don't have to be born in Botswana. You could move over there. You could become a citizen. You apply for citizenship, residency. Hell, over here you don't even really have to do that. You just come on over. We had an open door policy right now. Just hop the fence, come on through. Totally fine.
That's my grandpa. He just never left.
We'll step aside. Tigers last night, they went into extras, but they started off this week with a very, very good result. We'll get into that ball game next here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium Buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Have you ever played golf at Tullymore, St. Ives? Have you experienced a stay-and-play package in Canadian Lakes, Michigan, less than an hour north of Grand Rapids? Well, here's what you need to do if you want to take advantage of great deals right now. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com, and you'll see the link for packages, accommodations, dining, meetings, weddings, events, and so much more, and especially golf on the 18-hole layout at Tullymore and the 18 holes at St. Ives. And they can accommodate any group, whether it's 2 people getting together or 200 looking for a weekend or an overnight celebration. That includes a little business, golf, great food, and beverages. Just go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com. They're located in Canadian Lakes, Michigan, less than an hour north of GR. Get more info at tullymoregolf.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Galen, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us. Just for the record, so if you were to have a child who at the time of birth, had a father and mother from Monaco, the child is eligible for Monegasque citizenship. In addition to that, children born to a mother of whom one of the ancestors in the same line was born in Monegasque are also eligible for citizenship. You can have a permanent residency in Monaco. That's granted on the basis of demonstrating proof of accommodation and proof of financial self-sufficiency. The Monaco citizenship offers affluent persons
You can literally, you can just live there.
Standing. Hold on here. To receive a Monegasque citizenship and passport after 10 years of permanent residency. Well, how do you become a permanent resident? To do that, you must meet multiple requirements, first of which you must invest a minimum of 1 million euros, of which 500,000 of those must be deposited and kept in a Monaco bank. So, yeah, it's a little different to try to get Monaco citizenship than it is anywhere
But
else.
it says you can just doesn't it just say you can live there? Just
you can apply
as long as you can get a place to stay.
Well, yeah, you can apply to become a permanent resident, but to do that, you have to have $1 million up front.
Right, but what does it say at the beginning of that? It said all you have to do to stay here is proof of residence. Isn't that what it says?
No, permanent residency is granted on the basis of
permanent. But it doesn't say that at the beginning in the beginning portion.
Proof of accommodation and proof of financial self-sufficiency. What does that mean? €1 million. The point being is it's very difficult to become a citizen of Monaco. That was my whole point. Like, it's not the same as trying to get, you're trying to be a citizen anywhere else in the world. Like, it's Monaco. $1 million up front, €1 million. Just to walk in the door. But that's how that's how they keep their country, how they keep it, right? It's small, little tiny space in the south of France. Beautiful. Big yachts. If you've ever seen any sort of like documentary on it, it is fascinating. Fascinating. Would like to go. But instead I'll stay here because I don't have €1 million to put up front to become a permanent resident and then to apply for citizenship by trying to find some woman that's running around Monaco that is from there. That just sounds like a James Bond movie, even trying to get in the country. I wonder what their customs is like. So anyway, that's just just an example. Detroit beats Kansas City last night, 8-5. That finals in 10 innings. A little extra inning action. 3 scored in the 10th. Is that number getting a little bit better? Because I feel like we talked about the fact that they couldn't drive in any runs early on in the season when they were going into extras.
They had 13 left on base yesterday.
They haven't had any.
They should have won that game 12-13 to 5 before extras.
They had
like second and third bases loaded like every single inning.
But they haven't had too many games go into extras, have they? I feel like there was a streak early on where they just couldn't.
I think they're
advance
5-2.
Yeah, I believe that's what was said on the broadcast. But I mean, your last 2 series, you face Washington. Now you're facing Kansas City. Kansas City's right there with Oakland as one of the worst teams in baseball. I mean, Kansas City has, outside of Bobby Witt Jr., and even he's had his struggles this year, they have nothing. In Washington, they have a lot of young prospects that they've gotten from different trades. They're up this year, and they're doing well, but they're just growing. So they've had some flashes of different players this year, but they don't have a lot of veteran presence on that team. So
it's going to be a long year. The Kansas City Royals, long year. Good thing they're not paid necessarily on performance of wins and losses. So contracts are guaranteed. That's always a plus. 13 left on base, 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position were the Detroit Tigers yesterday. However, good to see them get a dub and overcome The plate discipline number is 12 team strikeouts. That's a little high. It's a little bit higher than what we're looking for there. McKinstry was 1 for 3 in the leadoff spot with a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. His average sits at 275. Scope came in to pinch hit. He was 0 for 2. Struck out once. Riley Green was 2 for 5. Couple of Ks. Did have a walk. Did score a run. Javy Baez with a really nice game. He was 3 for 6. 3 RBI, a run scored, 1 strikeout. That's a really nice game for him. Torque was 0 for 2 with a run scored, 4 walks drawn by Spencer Torkelson.
4 walks.
Wow.
He had never had a 3-walk game.
Or as someone pointed out on Twitter, he had 4 walks and 104-mile-per-hour line drive. Because that's the only thing that matters with Torkelson.
Hit it hard. It's going to work out eventually. Maton was 0 for 2 in the DH spot. Ibanez came in. He was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Those two guys, Maton hitting 163. Ibanez hitting 191. Then you had Badu that was 1 for 4 with an RBI, a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. Vierling had a really nice game. Good for him. 3 for 4, 4 RBI, a home run, 1 walk drawn, 1 run scored, and 1 strikeout. So a little bit of everything for him. Eric Haas, tough game for him, 0 for 5 with 1 K, and Zach Short, 1 for 3. Did draw 2 walks, had 1 strikeout. So for as bad as that team strikeout number was, 12, 10 walks drawn by this team, I think that's pretty good. That's got to be one of the higher numbers this season, if not the highest.
Yeah, they they had 8 the game prior, so 18 for the last 2 games. That's a lot of walks, a lot of pitches seen. Just, got to get some more hits. Can't strike out in so many clutch situations. Like if you just put the bat on the ball, like that's what like the analytics people don't get. If you put the bat on the ball, the other team can make a mistake.
Yes.
If you strike out, you're just striking out. So
also true.
Put the ball in play, and we won't have to worry about going to extra innings.
But if you just swing and miss at it, and you wanted to put it in play, but you missed, not a whole lot you can do there. What I'm really concerned about,
a whole lot of it is the philosophy of players that what they're hoping to achieve when they're up there. It's the whole point of like, adjust your launch angle, try to hit bombs. And when you're doing that, you're not focusing necessarily on the contact. You're focusing on just your bat and how hard your swing is. And so you're not worrying about, if I just try to poke it to right field, that
very golf-esque there. If you're just trying to mash the ball, bad things can happen. You got to put one in play. Just put it in play. That's all you got to do. But what's really important here, what's really got my concern, the Royals in their gladiator mask.
Yeah, how come they have MF Doom and we have the Red Wings helmet?
Yeah, I like
their corporate synergy, all right? Yeah. Don't see it in there.
I don't see a Chiefs helmet on. I like the gladiator helmet there. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's MF Doom.
I'm pretty sure that's Russell Crowe's mask from the film Gladiator.
I mean, it looks exactly like his mask.
What should the Tigers do outside of the Wings helmet?
What they should do is run in the dugout and deliver pizzas to people.
Get a Motown wig and do karaoke after home runs?
No, they should deliver Little Caesars.
Sunshine.
We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids, and now they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew. Now, Dorn Mayhew is an east side firm. Now you get the west side of Michigan with Bean Carter, and whether you're a small business or big business, they can handle all of your accounting and business needs at Bean Carter. Just go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And I mentioned with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew, they cover all of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast. Find out how the pros at Bean Garter can help your business today. Go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanEnerter.com. And I know Tom Rosenbach and his team are so happy about their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew.
The 1-2. Right side, there it is! Hey, sports fans, here's a hanging curveball that you can knock out of the ballpark. This is Matt Shepard, the voice of Detroit baseball, inviting you to step up to the plate at Eagle Casino and Sports, the mobile sports book where you can bet on all your favorites all year round, including, of course, our national pastime. So download the app and start winning today. Eagle Casino and Sports, made in Michigan, made for Michigan. Must be 21 years or older and in Michigan to play.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations across Michigan. You're going to want to look into that unlimited monthly pass that I use. Superfly Hayes, my producer, uses it. I can get my SUV washed as often as I like for one low price. You can sign up today. Just go to MrCarWash.com or stop by your local Mr. Car Wash location here in Michigan for the one close to you. And to get that unlimited pass, go to MrCarWash.com.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. A reminder, the weather's finally broken and it's beautiful outside. Now's a great time to call my buddy Matt Golden over at Tullymore Golf Resort and get ready to book your stay and play. One of the best golfing experiences in the great state of Michigan, located an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant. It's up north golf without the drive and easy to get to because it's located smack dab in the middle of the state. TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com. That is the website, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. All right, so very, very strange story upcoming here. Just in case you were wondering, by the way, too, at auction, the estimate for Russell Crowe's helmet from the film Gladiator was between $30,000 and $50,000. I don't think that the Royals have that particular helmet, but it would be kind of cool if somebody would have went out there and bought it. That would have been kind of a neat story. Anyways, in the NCAA, let's shift gears over now to something that we thought was done, and there has been a little bit of an issue here. And the problem is the guy who negotiated it left, which makes for this is a very difficult kind of story to keep track on, because there's an ESPN report that, you know, that big contract that Kevin Warren signed with NBC and CBS and Fox that's going to pay him $7 billion, and everybody's paid and everybody's having a great time. And, MLive's website's going to have 8,000 pop-up ads. For Christ's sake, bro. Like, leave it alone. You got 9,000 ads. I had 3 of them popped up in a row. I don't want, like...
I can't.
Dude, it's terrible. Anyways, they're trying to increase, the networks are, NBC in particular, wants to increase the number of November night games for football this year. And what is really interesting
I believe they were promised.
Yeah, they
those
were.
Games.
When that deal was signed, it was that Notre Dame still gets their 3:30 slot on NBC, and then Big Ten will get the primetime game.
But the contracts haven't been signed. That's the issue.
And the schools weren't supposedly told.
We were led to believe one thing by Kevin Warren before he weaseled out to the Chicago Bears.
He's going to Arlington Park, all right? Let him live.
No.
Then you have to move.
I don't even know the new commissioner of the Big Ten. Is it Tony Petitti?
Yes.
The new commissioner? And he put the TV contracts like right at the front of the line. Like, hey, this is something we have to get done. Because USC and UCLA come into the 24-25 season. You're going to have, brand new media rights deals for the expanded college football playoff. And you have NIL and you have all this other stuff. But the prioritization of this massive television contract worth more than $7 billion negotiated by Kevin Warren before he bailed, right? In 3 months before the season kicks off and those TV deals are scheduled to begin, the Big Ten does not have completed long-form contracts yet, which include some details here that NBC getting the primetime games, having an outstanding issue here because there's some pushback from some teams that basically don't want to play at night in November. So Big Ten schools have seen the potential revenue kind of disappear the last couple of months from a contract that was announced back in August. It was announced as being worth annually average value nearly $1 billion per year through the 2029 football season. More than $70 million in total is suddenly just poof, nearly $5 million per school. And now people are picking up the phone going, wait a minute. We have to do what now? What's the issue here? So the schools have recently found out they're going to have to pay back $40 million to Fox because, according to a source, Kevin Warren delivered NBC the Big Ten football title game in 2026 without full authority to do so. That's a problem. The Big Ten Network, which is, Big Ten Conference doesn't actually control the rights to the inventory of their latest deal. The Big Ten Network does, which is majority owned by Fox. They're going to have to pay back $25 million in total for a deal to pay Fox back for the lost 2020 football season inventory. This came after an agreement between Fox and the conference was made, and that was unable to muster up this lost revenue from the COVID-19 season. That's why, there was such a push. Originally, we were like, well, we're not going to play football. Yeah, we are going to play football. You're going to play. You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to play the game. There's tens of millions of dollars of value for the NBC primetime deal up for grabs here. And Petitti's working to basically get all of this squared away as quickly as possible. And the Big Ten, after the first weekend in November, schools were not required to play night games for a whole bunch of different reasons. Health, recovery, and campus logistics among them. These were known in the league circles as tolerances. And prior television contracts did account for these tolerances. And now everyone's acting surprised that NBC was surprised, and I was surprised, according to Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel. We had not discussed, and I had not discussed with anyone in the league, the change to the tolerances we had agreed upon years ago. What is up with this obsession? So it's being worked out, but Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan State recently agreed to some concessions to make short-term sacrifices to help make up for the NBC deal, which is very nice of them. By all means, what do they care? Penn State will play on the road on a shortened week on Black Friday against Michigan State. Hey, look, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware, but did you know that the MAC, you'd play like 3 games in 18 days? 3 games in 16 days?
Right. So far, yeah, they announced, it's reported that, MSU and Penn State will be Black Friday. And then November 11th, Michigan State at Ohio State on NBC for the night game.
And I don't, like, if I'm...
So if you're Michigan looking at this, and you already know Ohio State, Michigan, that's always going to be locked in at 12 o'clock on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was part of the deal, the TV deal, is that game will not be moved.
They want the big noon kickoff.
Which is fine. It's like that's a staple game for that weekend in all of college football. If you're Ward Manuel looking at the rest of the schedule, it's like, okay, so there's a possibility right now of one night game.
And
if Black Friday was taken care of, November 11th was taken care of,
it'd be November 4th against Purdue.
Right.
Like, you don't want to play Purdue at... Let me put it to you this way. As a regular civilian, I don't care. Play Purdue at 7 o'clock. What's the difference? Like, don't let Purdue on a Saturday night in November hold us up. Now, Penn State is 11-11. Maryland is 11-18. Both of those games are road games. And then you have Ohio State on the 25th, which is the home game back at the Big House.
What do you say? 11-11 already taken care of.
Check.
That's Ohio State, Michigan State. And it could be that Saturday night, the 18th, because, MSU Penn State got pushed to Friday.
And it's Maryland, it's on the road. As a civilian, as an employee, I'd rather have the road game be at night.
100%.
I, too, am with Kevin Warren saying we do not want November night games. As an employee, it's cold in November. All right? I'm just being honest with you. You're like, oh, well, yeah. You're standing on the sidelines. It's 10 degrees outside. It's dark. It's cold. It's probably been a long day already. Like, no.
But also, if you think about it, okay, we have 1 year until we have 2 California teams join this conference. Who do you think's going to eat up those majority of November night games?
USC and UCLA.
100%.
It's going to be Pac-12 after dark, but it's going to be 5 o'clock there and 8 o'clock here.
Exactly. So I think it's more of like, hey, we kind of have to suck it up for a year before we can just give USC and UCLA the NBC slot in November.
And to be honest with you, because 11-11 is off the table, right? Because of Michigan State, Ohio State, that's the same as Michigan and Penn State. The Big Ten as a whole might have botched that schedule a little bit. They should have, moved some of those things around, because I wouldn't play Michigan, Penn State, and then Michigan State, Ohio State on the same day. That sounds like a little bit of a scheduling kerfluffle. Like I would want to move those games around a little bit, to have a little variance there. Me personally.
I think that's just how the schedule is worked out now, where it seems like those games have been slotted in those weeks.
Yeah, I would look to kind of move those around a little bit, so that because those are big games. You know what I'm saying? So if I was the Big Ten from a 30,000-foot view, I would want to look for, how we talk about the NFL has an event every single month, right? And it keeps the juice flowing. If I'm the Big Ten, let's take a look at the entire schedule, and let's try to narrow down, like, what are some of our big time matchups here that we can schedule in a way that we have a premier game every week. That's why I would move those games. You don't want that week where it's just all clunkers. Like, at least have and look, I'm not going to, like, Wisconsin, Minnesota is a rivalry game. So I'm not going to consider that a clunker just because, both teams. Now, Wisconsin I expect to be much improved. But that's, regardless here. But, historically, that's a rivalry game.
That, and if you're the Big Ten, you also got to look at the Big Ten West and be like, you got to produce something for us.
Somebody.
Like,
do something.
Like, we just can't rely on, as
big
of
four.
This year. Well, the big three, really.
Yeah, you're right. I just tried to give you
I know, you're trying to be nice, but, like,
yeah, you're right.
If it was 2 years ago when Michigan State had their 11-2 year, it's like, okay, Michigan State has worked back up into that tier 1. Now they've dropped down a tier.
Maybe 3 tiers. They were 3 and 6 in conference play last year.
Okay, I'm trying to be nice to my own team now. All right,
I understand. No piling on. I understand. I get it.
There'll be enough of that in September, October, November.
Sorry, my bad. But you see that Kevin Warren, like it, and if I'm Michigan, and if I'm Ward Manuel, put the pen to paper. Whatever you need to be done, just do it. Just do it and get it over with. So if we got to play Maryland on the road at night, great. If it's got to be Purdue at home, boiler up at night, then sure. Whatever it's going to take to make sure that this contract goes through is going to be of the utmost importance for all parties involved. Do not, as a casual citizen here now, do not hold the league and their money up. And I'm not placing blame solely on Ward Manuel or anything of that nature. But what I am inquiring about is if that's our biggest issue here, sign the damn piece of paper.
I would say right now I would just put it on Ward Manuel because you've seen so far Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State make a concession.
And if that is the case, Penn State plays on the road in a short week on Black Friday against Michigan State, which you mentioned. A game that was scheduled before Penn State agreed to it. Ohio State hosts Michigan State on November 11th. The latest ever home night game in Ohio State history, which is viewed as another concession to help the league in this moment. I don't think that's much of a concession.
I believe Ohio State and Michigan had the same concession of just like, we want to play at noon.
Which is totally, like, understandable. Like, that's the big noon kickoff. As long as we get the commercial TV timeouts to go under 28 minutes, we should be fine. And that's per commercial.
Just make halftime all commercials to cut down our commercial breaks to 2 minutes.
I would be 100%. I don't even need a halftime show. Just block all the whole halftime.
Just do what you see during all the big games of, like, this game is happening back after the break.
I mean, that's literally how it is in the regular season. They definitely do a couple minute longer halftime too. Because we do a 15-minute halftime. 12 minutes, I believe, is breaks for Pistons games. It's 3 minutes of content and 12 minutes of breaks. So that the game breaks are shorter.
Right, but that's got to be that's a standard.
That's a regular season thing.
That's a standard across the league.
Right.
You know, where you're not going to go where the Pistons are on Fox today, and we're going to have 3.5 to 4 minute media timeouts, and then next week when they're on CBS, it's going to be 2:45. You know, the best part about it all is that if you ever work a game on ESPN3, the breaks are 180 seconds, and then you work a game on Fox, and it's like we could have a 5-minute break in the second half. The under 10 media timeout in college hoops, you could have a break that is you don't have enough stuff to fill it with. I mean, it's just unbelievable how long. Like, I don't even give coaches timeouts anymore. Don't even let them call them. Screw it. And I'm glad they cut down to from 5 to 4 timeouts in college basketball. But my goodness, we got stoppages nonstop. Fox is the worst. They understand though, because they paid $7 billion to have these games on their net. These 3 networks did in this package deal. Like, somebody's got to pay for that, and that's coming from ad revenue. So I don't really like the league is facing a decision on a potential bonus for Kevin Warren, who didn't have a bonus clause. I wouldn't pay him. I'd get him out of there as soon as possible. And you want the league to grow, you want it to expand. If at all, like, pen to paper, get it signed, get it done. If everybody's got to make a concession, everybody make a concession. And I don't care, we never did this or we never did that. None of that matters. You're going to do it now. You're going to do it for 1 year. Suck it up, Buttercup, and everything is going to be all right. And that's just the way it is. And if it's Purdue and we got to be there until midnight, then it's Purdue and we got to be there until midnight, and pray to God the Lions will have a game the next day. NBA playoffs means big hoops action over the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the association. Get on the excitement of the Eastern Conference Finals with the touch of a button. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet on either the Heat or the Celtics. Score $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Plus, everyone can score in the no-sweat same-game parlay every day during the NBA playoffs. Open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place the same-game parlay on any NBA game. If it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now using the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. If you or somebody who has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 plus. Michigan only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in is required. One bonus bet issued based on the amount of the initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions to apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Turns back after this. Michigan Sports Network.
Got any plans for Mental Health Action Day? You do now.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids, and now they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew. Now, Dorn Mayhew is an east side firm. Now you get the west side of Michigan with Bean Carter, and whether you're a small business or big business, they can handle all of your accounting and business needs at Bean Carter. Just go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And I mentioned with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew, they cover all of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast. Find out how the pros at Bean Carter can help your business today. Go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. Br0's.com, and I know Tom Rosenbach and his team are so happy about their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium Buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Hey, this is Matt Shepard from the Michigan Sports Network. I love summers in Michigan because it means golf season. Now, two things always when I go golfing. I make sure I got my sticks, and I've got plenty of cold, fresh Labatt Blue Light. Whether I've just squeezed in 18 holes or I just want to relax on the patio after a long day, everywhere I go, and I'm serious when I tell you this, I tell people about the smooth, genuine taste of Labatt Blue Light. It's just a great beer. Michigan Sports Network is giving you a chance to win a foursome to Michigan's best courses. Just listen weekdays to The Huge Show and X's and Bros, or just text GOLF to 21,000 to enter. That's GOLF to 21,000. The trip includes 2 overnight stays and 2 rounds of golf, all brought to you by my friends at Labatt Blue Light. So grab a Labatt Blue Light the next time you head out onto the course and enjoy the blue skies, because blue is for Michigan summers and great times. Always enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt is a registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company, Ltd.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations. I think there's close to 30 across the Huge Radio Network. For the one close to you, go to MrCarWash.com, and there you can join their Unlimited Wash Club. Now, this is a quick and convenient way to keep your car shining all the time. It's everything you love about getting your car washed in a simple, easy-to-use, affordable plan. As an Unlimited Wash Club member, you will enjoy all the benefits of washing as often as you like, no long-term contract, convenient monthly billing, and now you can be rest assured with a contactless visit. So go to MrCarWash.com right now, sign up for their Unlimited Wash Club Pass, and that means you can get your car washed at any Mr. Car Wash location across the Huge Radio Network or anywhere in America. And for the location close to you across the Huge Radio Network, you can also log on to MrCarWash.com.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here. Hour number 2 of X's and Bros on this Tuesday, the 23rd day of May, 2023. Welcome you back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network, broadcasting live all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. No matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000 Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on both BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page all across the globe at Michigan Sports Network. Add.com to that to find our website. Danny Cahatlin is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. What's going on in the sports world? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
All right, huge news here. Excited about all of this. The ACC and the Pac-12 reported record revenue for the 21-22 season, so that's a positive for those leagues. The ACC's 994 showed the league brought in $617 million, up 6.7% for the previous year. The Pac-12 announced total revenue at $581 million, and record distributions at $444 million. The ACC had an average distribution of nearly $39.5 million per school, and also a league record, an increase of 9% over the previous year. The Pac-12 distributed an average of $37 million per school. While the total revenue puts the ACC third amongst all conferences, there's still a large gap here. The SEC made $721.8 million. The Big Ten, $845.6 million. Whoa. Hello, Big Ten. Good for the other ones, but yeah, some big time money there for the Big Ten and the SEC. Like trumping the Pac-12 by almost $300 million. That's crazy. Wow. Speaking of college athletics, USC's AD, Mike Bone, is resigning. Helped the school's planned Big Ten jump, and he's getting out, according to the school. His resignation comes at his surprising time, less than 4 years after he was hired from Cincinnati to replace Lynn Swann, who resigned from the job after 3 years. So maybe a little heat there. Tom Brady reaches an agreement to buy an ownership stake in the Raiders. So he's in. Good for Tom Brady. That's pretty fun. Ben Roethlisberger came out and said initially he didn't want Kenny Pickett to succeed. The retired quarterback had Pickett as a guest on his podcast over the weekend. It admitted to him, I'll be completely honest. I'll be super transparent here, and I'm going to get blasted. I probably shouldn't say this, but who cares at this point? I wouldn't say that I wanted Kenny to necessarily fail, but when someone comes to replace you, I still feel like I had it, and I hope he doesn't come and ball out, because then it's like, Ben who? That's a normal human feeling. That's fine. It doesn't matter. So what? That's a perfectly normal human.
But Ben, you didn't still have it.
No. That was not 2006 Ben Roethlisberger. He was not going to win Super Bowl XL.
It wasn't even 2015 Ben Roethlisberger.
Woof.
Like, you got old quick.
Yes, very fast. And that happens. Green Bay has been selected to host the 2025 NFL Draft. So congratulations to the Cheeseheads. They'll get it. I'm sure that'll be a real stellar event. Remember, next year it comes to Detroit. Carmelo Anthony announced his retirement from the NBA after 19 seasons. Most people probably thought he was already retired. Not officially, he just wasn't on the team. Was not in the NBA this season. Retires as the number 9 scorer in league history. Cult figure, contentious debate here. Super hot take, Hall of Really Good. He'll make the Hall of Fame because everybody gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame, even people that don't even play or coach in the NBA.
Are you who?
Carmelo Anthony?
He's the 9th leading scorer of all time, Anthony.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
He's
really
the
good.
9th leading scorer of all time.
I know. It's a very unpopular opinion.
Because it's a wrong one.
Oh, I mean, it's a Hall of Really Good. I mean, like, look, Jokic came in. Number 15 belongs to him. He's got the MVPs. He's got the Western Conference Finals. He's got the NBA Finals.
Charles not a Hall of Famer? Didn't get it done?
Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
I think Charles Barkley's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Same exact scenario. Went to multiple teams, just couldn't get the job done. Great scorer.
What's the furthest Carmelo ever made it in the playoffs? Let's just look that up.
I think he lost.
Or was he on the Lakers bubble team?
Was he on the Lakers bubble team?
Might have been.
I don't know.
He did do a year with LeBron and the Lakers.
Did do a year like it's a sentence. How many years did he do in Portland?
Few. Remember the 16 minutes he was on the Hawks?
Yeah, I mean 6 teams.
They tweeted out his jersey. That was very nice of them.
Yeah, 10-time All-Star, a past scoring champion. Sure, I get it, but I'm gonna need more to be in my hall. And like I said, everybody gets in, so he'll be a Hall of Famer. He's going in. I just don't necessarily agree with it. I know it's a very contentious opinion, right? Because people are like, oh well, yeah. What's the furthest he made? Well, he was on the bubble roster, wasn't he? Like, come on, I need leaders and contributors here. That's what I need. Speaking of retiring. How about this? LeBron James said he will consider retirement this offseason. Oh, no. The worst possible situation. In case you missed it last night, the Denver Nuggets swept the Lakers, 113-111. LeBron did everything that he could. We'll talk about it. He was fantastic. Everybody else, somebody do something. Help me out here, right? But what is the status of his contract? If he were to retire, sit out, go to Bronny's college games, and then come back to the league when Bronny gets drafted, because he will get drafted because that team knows they're going to get LeBron James as well. Does he take a year off and then come back?
Yeah, taking a year off when you're 39 is a little different than what Michael was doing. I mean,
which time? The first time or the second time?
Well, yeah, but the second time was...
Guys still got 20 a game for the Wizards.
Yeah, that's true.
He was not a bum.
There was also nobody else on the team, and he was taking 30 shots a game.
He was not a bum. But
and
I don't know.
Shorts were, halfway down his shin back then.
All right. He was not rocking the TJ Fords. Okay? Like the shorts should be right at the knee. That's what shorts should be. All these guys trying to wear short shorts now. I don't know what's going on here. But Michael took 3 years off, came back, and still got 20 a game. And just for clarity, his highest average of shots per game in Washington was 22. Shooting 42% from the field that year. Scoring 23 points a game. Like, that's pretty solid after a 3-year hiatus. To come back for 2 years. Like, that's pretty impressive. Could LeBron do the same thing? And he was 38 years old.
How many total games, I just want to know, did MJ play?
Total games, 1,039.
All right, I'm looking up LeBron.
Nope, total games, 1,072. And that's regular season games. And then you have to factor in the playoffs in which he played 179. So, just over 1,200 games, which is going to be less because remember, he didn't play in the 93-94 season. And then he came back 94, 95, and only played in 17 games.
LeBron's played 1,421 regular season games.
Yeah, plus playoffs. He's at, what, 200? He's at what? It's got to be 250 plus?
281.
Yeah, 281. That sounds about right.
So he's at 1,700 games played.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a year off
might be good for him.
Your legs
or his
are
whole
gonna
body
be dead.
might fall apart.
Yeah, your legs will die after a year.
One of
you
two
gotta
things.
be-
Where's LeBron James? This is a superior athlete here. This isn't like Joe Blow taking a year off.
Yeah. Guess what, Anthony? Tiger Woods got old very quickly.
How many injuries?
How many car accidents?
Kobe got old.
Blew his Achilles out. LeBron's never been hurt. He faked a foot injury.
He's had the worst foot injury ever known to man. He had
pretty much Lazarus came back from the dead.
Broken hand, and gets his eye popped out of socket every single game.
Every game. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Have you ever played golf at Tullymore, St. Ives? Have you experienced a stay-and-play package in Canadian Lakes, Michigan, less than an hour north of Grand Rapids? Well, here's what you need to do if you want to take advantage of great deals right now. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com, and you'll see the link for packages, accommodations, dining, meetings, weddings, events, and so much more, and especially golf on the 18-hole layout at Tullymore and the 18 holes at St. Ives. And they can accommodate any group, whether it's 2 people getting together or 200 looking for a weekend or an overnight celebration. That includes a little business, golf, great food, and beverages. Just go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com. They're located in Canadian Lakes, Michigan, less than an hour north of GR. Get more info at tullymoregolf.com.
Life as a grown-up. Not what you thought it would be, right? The meetings, the stress, the boredom, and that one big question. Does any of this matter? Then you became a cop. Not what you thought it would be, right? The pride, the honor, the love for the brothers and sisters who served with you. The family who reminds you how much you matter. Being a cop. Not what you thought, right? Just what you needed, I guess. Visit MichiganPoliceChiefs.org.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Eastern Conference Finals coming up. That means big hoops action. The DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the association. Get in on all the excitement every game with the touch of a button. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet, score $150 in bonus bets when your team wins. Plus, everyone can score a no-sweat same-game parlay during the Eastern Conference Finals. Could there potentially be only one game remaining? Open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place the same-game parlay on the Eastern Conference Finals. If it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up using the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. A little summer madness in the background for you. Do you remember the LeBron commercial where he was playing all the different roles and this song was on? And he was like the little kid jumping in the pool. Cannonball. He said, hold on, let me call you back. He was dressed up as an old man. He's like, pretty boy, don't want to get his hair wet. You guys remember that?
No.
An all-time, I think it was a Sprite commercial. It's an all-time great.
I'll have to check that one out.
And he's in
I'm
the
sure I
all-white
mean,
remember
if it can't be an all-time great. I mean, didn't win anything, so probably just a very good commercial.
If you or somebody who has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus Michigan only bonus bets issued 7 days after issuance. Opt-in is required. One bonus bet issued based on the amount of the initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions to apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Now, you knew LeBron. I love what Zach Harper said. You knew LeBron wasn't going to let it be all Nuggets today and tomorrow with his retirement shenanigans. Here's Nikola Jokic talking about Joel Embiid after the game.
I don't know. I don't think about MVPs anymore, and I think it's people are just mean and saying that Embiid shouldn't want it. I think he should want it. I think he was playing. If you watch it, extremely tough basketball through the whole season, and I don't want to say player doesn't mean in that, but he was really amazing in 82 games or how many games he played.
Oh, Nikola Jokic, humble too. Look at the guy. Look at him. God bless him. Now, LeBron, his comments after the game when asked about his future with basketball.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. And I don't know. I got a lot to think about, to be honest. And just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, I got a lot to think about.
All right, so who do you have tanking this year so that they can have LeBron for 1 year in 2025?
This is ridiculous. It is. Houston, maybe? I don't know. I was surprised to see that LeBron with a UN cap on. I didn't know that he was big on the United Nations and trying to rally some support for Ukraine.
He had a UN. Like, are you being serious? Like
his
an
hat
actual
says UN.
UN?
Yeah. His hat says.
It's got to be a brand, right?
Yeah, the brand of the United Nations. Huh, interesting. As LeBron one-hugged the Jokic and exit stage door left. Walked into the tunnel. Would it be the final time? There's nothing. I mean, of course, like the Nuggets win and we're getting close-up shots of LeBron walking down the tunnel ahead on SportsCenter. More on LeBron's future. Like, dude, I mean, unreal that they're going to go this route. And yeah, I mean, you can be honest about it. Kendrick Perkins got everybody all upset. They drummed up all the color of what player, who's, what color is everybody? Because, that's it's a good way to spark debate and controversy. And so instead of giving the MVP award to the best player in the league this year, They gave it to Joel Embiid. Totally fine. One guy continues on playing and wins a Western Conference Finals Magic Johnson Award for Most Valuable Player before the other guy ever makes it to a conference final. That's interesting, but whatever.
Are you really you dogging Joel Embiid?
I'm just saying he was not as good as good as Nikola Jokic.
Was Joker going to conference finals before this year? And he won 2.
Well, and what year are we up for debate on right now? 2023, or are we debating the 2021
Okay,
award?
so if we're going on when you win awards and when you should be going to conference finals, then Joel Embiid is up next year.
Why would Joel Embiid be up next year?
I mean, Nikola Jokic won 2, and he didn't get to it until this year. So, I mean...
So if you because you gave it to Russell Westbrook because he was a triple-double machine, right? And so last year, throughout the 21-22 season, Nikola Jokic had a 27-point triple-double. On average, 27, 13, and 8. So just shy of the triple-double there. The previous year, 26, 10, and 8. This year, didn't win it, averaged 24.5 with 12 rebounds and 9.9 assists. That's a pretty incredible 3-year run right there. Pretty incredible 3-year run. And he played 72 out of 72 games. Started 72 out of 72 in 21 season. 74 games in last year's season. And started 69 out of 69 games in this season. So he's definitely qualifying based on the new measures that are going to be put in place with the games, which I think is absolutely, they have to do it. Yeah, I mean, best player in the league. Let him do a number 1 seed this year.
I don't. I think Joel Embiid deserved it. The MVP is not going to win the championship or go to the finals every year.
Well, this is true. The numbers do support the fact that you're better off taking the field than the MVP's team. Yes, I would agree with that.
Unless really, there's 2 guys that if they were the MVP, then I would take their team, and that would be LeBron and Steph. The field after that for the MVPs. Because if LeBron, those LeBron years when he was winning the MVP, it was like he's going to the finals, whether they win it or not, we'll see. But it was automatic finals appearance there for a while for LeBron.
Yeah, and he could have won the
Steph.
MVP 5 years in a row. He could have won it. Let's be honest. He could have won it 5 years in a row. Not debatable. There's nobody else that's more valuable to their team than the guy that continues to take his team to the finals. Here's what Nikola Jokic said about it's something, and I get it, man. It's something I say all the time here on this program. Listen to this.
Nikola, I know you deleted social media a long time ago. Everybody digs up old tweets. There's one where you were saying, is anyone down for a pickup basketball game back in 2011? First part is just sort of why did you delete social media? And 2 is how are you different from that kid back in 2011 asking for a pickup game?
Do you know how hard it is to find a pickup babe right now? Especially in my hometown, I remember the days when you can just go outside in 5 o'clock afternoon, and if you lose one pickup game, you can basically go home. And now it's really hard to find 6 guys who can play, because we play 3-on-3. It's not a 5-on-5. So that didn't change. So if anybody wants to go play pickup, they can call me. Just because, to be honest, I follow the guys who are playing professionally right now. That's 3x3 tournament, and Serbian guys are really, really, really good in that. And I think I remember back in days how I played it, and I think maybe the talent that the engineer from upstairs gave me, it's from playing basket to playing 3-on-3 too. And why I deleted social media, I think it's a waste of time.
Very well said, my friend. I deleted social media because it's a waste of time. And it is interesting. Growing up playing 3-on-3 instead of 5-on-5, you need a lot more movement without the ball. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids, and now they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew. Now, Dorn Mayhew is an east side firm. Now you get the west side of Michigan with Bean Carter, and whether you're a small business or big business, they can handle all of your accounting and business needs at Bean Carter. Just go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And I mentioned with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew, they cover all of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast. Find out how the pros at Bean Carter can help your business today. Go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And I know Tom Rosenbach and his team are so happy about their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
From Traverse City to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, you're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. We missed it last segment, so I want to do it this segment because we do it an hour or two, just about every day of the week. It is time for little Detroit Lions trivia. This is a tough one. This is, man, there's no getting this one. Which starting quarterbacks for the Detroit Lions, 3 of them, all wore number 16? This is one that Freddie would get. And I don't know about anybody else.
16.
All well before our time.
Really?
Well,
I was going to say Sean Hill, but I think maybe he wore 15.
That's a decent guess, but think before our time.
Eric Kramer, one of them.
Negative.
No.
How about Milt Plum?
No.
Yale
started
Larry.
from 1962 to 1967. Gary Danielson from 1976 until 1984, and Chuck Long, 86 to 89, and then 91 and 94. All wore 16 for the Lions. It's a very obscure trivia question. Interesting, 16. What was Scott Mitchell?
19.
Another obscure sort of number for a quarterback. Well, Patrick Mahomes is 15, right? Josh Allen's what, 17? What's Brock Purdy, 13? Herbert's 10. Trevor Lawrence is 16, right? Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is 16. I think. Maybe. All right, back on the NFL side of things. There was a new rule has been instituted that is very interesting because it was actually something proposed by Dan Campbell and company, which I found was kind of strange because the NFL owners approved this rule yesterday that will allow teams to designate an emergency quarterback on game day, a rule that they brought back after the 49ers ran out of quarterbacks in their loss in the NFC Championship game last season to the Philadelphia Eagles. This rule applies only to quarterbacks who are on the team's 53-man roster. Practice squad players are not eligible to be emergency quarterbacks, not even if they are elevated for that week's game, but it does allow a team to avoid counting the emergency quarterback as one of its active players on game day, which is kind of interesting. The emergency quarterback would be eligible for in-game activation if the rest of the team's quarterbacks are unable to participate due to injury or ejection, but not as a result of benching. So it's kind of strange. And Dan Campbell was one of those.
Well, wasn't it the
kind of behind it?
Was it the Niners who just like ran out of their both their quarterbacks got hurt?
Yeah, the Niners, the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's why this is getting implemented. The NFL does not want that to go down again, just some team putting their running back in and getting destroyed every down.
What a debacle that was. How that might have changed the way we view the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And it was actually the Detroit Lions. It's not even the NFL. It's the Lions who are kind of responsible behind this. They were the ones that proposed this rule change that was eventually approved and adopted yesterday. So congratulations to, Dan Campbell for being able to, get that one down. Man, you lose a couple quarterbacks, you're going to want a guy. But that's really what it is. You don't ever want to be put in that position where you don't even have a guy that could snap the ball. said that's the worst time to want to lose one. And it's the Lions, of all people, who put it together. Look, I thought the 49ers and Coach Shanahan made some really good points in there. And it really wasn't even about the fact, man. This could happen to you. It's more where concussions are going and concussion protocol. I think they're really pretty simple. Look at the third quarterback deal was strictly because of watching the San Francisco game. Like, oh my God, if that ever happens to us, that's the worst possible time. So Dan Campbell was like, hey, I get rule proposition here. And the owners are like, yeah, no, we're good with that. That's the last thing we want to. Like, let's boost our roster a little bit and basically have 46 active plus one quarterback. Because you get the 53-man roster, and then you get 46 active on game day. And then from there, you'll be able to have this emergency backup, like an e-bug, if you will, the emergency backup goaltender in hockey, which we have seen has worked out from time to time, where a team is in need of a third goaltender, and so they have some random guy that they brings his pads and his gear and all of his stuff every game and hangs out and just waits for the opportunity for two guys to get injured and then pops in there, and every once in a while there's a really good story. I think there was one last year of an e-bug goalie at the NHL level. But yeah, there's usually an emergency backup goaltender somewhere.
I believe the Lions were one of 8 teams to vote against the flexing of the Thursday night games.
Let's go there next. So a limited number of late season Thursday night football games on Amazon Prime streaming, iRoll, according to this resolution, has been approved by the NFL owners in a very close vote. The resolution passed with approval votes from 24 owners, the minimum requirement to enact a new rule, and it will be in effect on a trial basis for the 23 season only. If no Thursday night games are flexed, the resolution will carry over to the 2024 season. I don't think that this is I think this is awful.
It's a minimum of 28-day notice that your game is being changed.
Yes, the NFL must file this notice no later than 28 days before the game, an increase of nearly 2 weeks from the earlier proposal. And no team will be required to flex a Thursday night game more than one time. The maximum number of Thursday night games will remain 2 per season.
Well, the Lions technically, they don't have 3 night games on Thursdays, but they already have 2. So the Lions are all right. I think. I don't think they're going to they might get flexed out of one of their games, out of their Thursday nights.
Oh, no, they're not flexing us out. The resolution will allow the league to flip a Sunday afternoon game into a Thursday night and move the originally scheduled game to Sunday afternoon during weeks 13 through 17.
So are the Jaguars and Titans scheduled for their regular Thursday night football late in the season?
Here's what we have for the schedule. In week 13,
that will be flexed.
It's Seahawks Cowboys.
No.
That's pretty good. In week 14, Patriots Steelers.
Possibly.
Could be on the cusp. Week 15, the Chargers against the Raiders.
No.
Here it is. Week 16, the Saints at the Rams.
That could be flex. There's 2 flex possibilities there.
And one more for you. The New York Jets on the road in Cleveland against the Browns in week 17.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Both are going to be eliminated from playoff contention, so what's the difference?
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's ratings. That's what fans care about.
The NFL now has flex options for all of its primetime games, having previously added the flex option for a window of Monday Night Football games this season. They had the authority to flex Sunday Night Football games since 2006. There's about 1.8 flex games per season. Interesting. Other teams that voted against it, the Jets, the Packers, Bears, Raiders, Lions, Bengals, and Steelers. We're going to have an even higher bar for Monday night and an even higher bar for Thursday night about the type of game we think would merit real consideration for flexing. Huh. Well, at least they got it bumped up to 28 games, so it gives the teams a month to plan accordingly.
Does this sound also like maybe Jeff Bezos is like, you're not going to give me crap games every week?
Well, Bezos is very very involved now with the NFL, and the Thursday night games let's face it, they had a lot of clunkers. Lot of clunkers on Amazon Prime. Do you know where I stand on streaming? absolutely awful. I don't know why you'd want to do it, but why would you? I don't know. Take your product off of television. Not sure. This should show our fans in the media industry that we'll do everything we can to make streaming on Thursday night successful, according to Cowboy owners Jerry Jones. What do you mean? We make streaming on Thursday night successful.
That's literally they know that it's Amazon is a big money thing. That's what I'm telling you. They love Jeff Bezos.
100%. 100%.
There might be some sort of deal in the works in the future already that they're trying to get going based on this.
Yeah, I mean, the streaming is although I dislike it very much, it is the direction, and I think it'll pull back a little bit. I think Matt Ishbia has got to lead the charge here and bring sports back to regular television, get them off all the streaming shenanigans all the time. But outside of that, like Bezos heavily invested. Amazon is a big time company. They have their closets you can go cry in when you when they overwork you. You could do that, but hey, next day shipping for anything online has really changed everything, hasn't it? And here's the NFL sitting there looking at a large check from Amazon. It gives them another media partner along with NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox. So now everybody's kind of got their NBC's got their Sunday Night Football. ABC and ESPN have Monday Night Football, and then you have the traditional CBS and Fox for your Sunday games. It's going to get even more hectic later on in the season when we have the institution of the Black Friday game after the Thursday Thanksgiving game. Super wild card weekend. The wild card and playoff games that will be overlapping or next day from what we have scheduled right now for the college football playoff.
Man,
at least they did the right thing.
I'm mad about the Black Friday. Why are we doing that? That's the kids' days. That's high school championship week for a lot of the country.
It's the same reason why the Big Ten schedules Friday night football games. They don't care about the kids. They don't care about the meat and the potatoes of their entire product, which is youth football. To me, I wouldn't touch Friday if they play the Black Friday game, and you're right. I mean, even if they try to play it at 3 in the afternoon, it doesn't matter because there's championship games on, all day long, starting at noon. And it's like, you have this sacred day. There's not a whole lot sacred anymore. We'll put it that way. Everything's up for grabs. Everything's up for money. As long as it doesn't go to the Jets. As long as the Jets don't get their way and want a traditional Black Friday game. Like, the Jets are second fiddle to the Giants. They always have been. They always will be. They're just like the Mets. They're just like the Clippers. They're just like the Angels. You're the second act in town, the bargain basement team, and you don't deserve it. Plain and simple. Giants have Super Bowls in recent memory. The Jets do not. They have the butt fumble. They're trying to rally the troops around Sauce Gardner and Aaron Rodgers. I get it. But, and a lot of folks around here have built some sort of crazy rivalry with that team. All over a quarterback that got chased around with a broomstick and had a really good pro day. Outside of that, no. Black Friday can be for the other teams. It's still Thanksgiving Day for the Cowboys and the Lions, and they even sprinkled in a third game there for us. Right? So you can get Thanksgiving Day all day long. Football all day long. But they are going to try to just squeeze the juice out of every day right now. That's why when you look at what midweek Maction was and kind of where it's going now with the amount of different products that are on throughout the course of the week, like the different conferences, that's going to be, it's going to be a dogfight for a conference like the MAC to try to find a TV window that works. That's what it is. When you have Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, you got high school football on Fridays. Saturday is dominated by the Power 5. Sunday dominated by the NFL. Then you have your Tuesday, Wednesday window right? But now you're competing with what other conferences are trying to get games during those days. And how long is it until the NFL wants to expand even more? A lot of good questions here. Because that's what they're going to look to maximize every single dollar that they possibly can. And a lot of the traditional way of thinking has kind of just gone out the window. I mean, it's capitalism. It is what it is. I understand it from that perspective, but I also do like the more traditional aspect. I'm sure that, I guess, for me personally, that could be said about most things in life. But we're going to continue to squeeze every opportunity we have just to get every single cent out of every single consumer. And most people will have the opportunity. They probably have a computer in their home. They probably have internet access in their home. Most people. So therefore, the game will be available to most people in the country. But Thursday Night Football is a product that started off on NFL Network anyways, right? As almost an incentive to try to, up your cable package, if you will, or get in on a subscription directly with, consumer directly to the league with the NFL. But if, you're going to be able to get a little bit more scratch from Amazon, give it a shot. Big production, big set, big issues all throughout the season. Like it was a pretty muddled program there. And kind of like what YouTube has done recently, they've had some streaming issues during these finals games that have been, YouTube TV's had some issues. Me personally, as somebody who now has a smart TV, not a big fan of it. It's slower than cable. If there's a delay from the game to get it to your television screen, which there is, there's even a larger delay to get it to the internet. And if you have multiple devices on your network and you don't have some sort of premium internet package, you're going to end up with the buffering, or you're going to end up with I had a problem with one app throughout the season where the broadcast was just very choppy. And the players were always like, moving at, half speed basically is what it looked like. It's like, dude, I'm going to barf. This looks ridiculous. And you get some of that as well. So it'd be interesting to see how this all kind of works out now with the subscriptions and the different options. And I'm all for the competition of it. But, I'd like to be able to think that these teams and these leagues would want to put their product on in more homes across America. That's, I guess, would be my final piece, if you will, to these leagues. Hey, folks, golf season is here officially. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. It is sunny outside. Our friends in northern Michigan listening to us up near the Traverse City area, I'm sure the lake is still freezing cold, but I'm sure that it looks beautiful this morning. Matt Gold and his team, they're ready to welcome you to one of the best golfing experiences in the state of Michigan. It's called Tullymore. Then the Tullymore Golf Resort is located in Canadian Lakes, offering not one but two championship courses, Tullymore and St. Ives, about 7 minutes from each other, and they have a shuttle bus that'll take you back and forth. It's perfect. It's an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant. It's really easy to get to no matter where you're located in the state, and I highly recommend that you visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. We'll be back with hour number 3 of X's and Bros next here on the Michigan Sports Network.
In the den. Hey, sports fans, here's a hanging curveball that you can knock out of the ballpark. This is Matt Shepard, the voice of Detroit baseball, inviting you to step up to the plate at Eagle Casino and Sports, the mobile sports book where you can bet on all your favorites all year round, including, of course, our national pastime. So download the app and start winning today. Eagle Casino and Sports, made in Michigan, made for Michigan. Must be 21 years or older and in Michigan to play.
It's understanding to recognize that Tigers fans feel their team should win this series with Kansas City. After all, the Royals have the worst record in the division and second worst record in baseball. But most thought the same headed to Washington too, and will feel the same when the White Sox come to town this weekend. We oftentimes need reminders in sports, though, that not everything goes according to plan. See the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, both of hockey's conference finals, and the Tigers series wins earlier this year over St. Louis, Milwaukee, and New York. That unpredictability is what makes baseball, and really sports, great, but it also makes it very frustrating, especially for fans who have high expectations. Hey, this is Matt Shepard from the Michigan Sports Network. I love summers in Michigan because it means golf season. Now, two things always when I go golfing. I make sure I got my sticks, and I've got plenty of cold, fresh Labatt Blue Light. Whether I've just squeezed in 18 holes or I just want to relax on the patio after a long day, everywhere I go, and I'm serious when I tell you this, I tell people about the smooth, genuine taste of Labatt Blue Light. It's just a great beer. Michigan Sports Network is giving you a chance to win a foursome to Michigan's best courses. Just listen weekdays to The Huge Show and X's and Bros, or just text GOLF to 21,000 to enter. That's GOLF to 21,000. The trip includes 2 overnight stays and 2 rounds of golf, all brought to you by my friends at Labatt Blue Light. So grab a Labatt Blue Light the next time you head out onto the course and enjoy the blue skies, because blue is for Michigan summers and great times. Always enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt is a registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company, Ltd.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email FreddyThePizzaman@gmail.com.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown. Spotty.
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown. Detroit Lions. They did it. Br0's St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's
Out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio. Text the keyword sports radio, send that to 21,000, or join us on the Meyer Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. Dan, we got some activity over there in the phone lines. What do you have for us? Who's up first?
Freddie's up first.
Freddie is up first. F for Freddie, F for first. Good morning, Freddie. How are you, my friend?
Hi, AB. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Right now, I'm trying to understand what the NFL Global Markets Program is.
What do you mean?
Well, I just saw this announcement from the NFL that they have the expansion of the NFL's Global Markets Program. 21 teams across 14 markets now have access to grow their fan bases around the world in a long-term strategic effort to enable clubs to build their brands globally. I don't even know what the hell that means. I don't even know what I just read to you. I have no idea.
You know what I say? The NFL can blow that you know what. And I'll tell you why.
A lot of aggressiveness.
Because, first of all, I want to let your listeners know that I actually called in for that trivia question, and AB told Dan not to let me in because I knew the answer. So
did you know the answer? I knew you did.
Oh, I knew the answer. But Ryan, your executive producer over there, if he's got a pizza on me, if he lets me know before the end of the show, I want to know the playoff record of a quarterback for the Detroit Lions who wears the number 16. What their playoff record is, wins and losses. I'd like to know that answer if he could let me know. And Chuck Long, for older people like me, I think Dave from Hudsonville is an old guy too. Chuck Long was drafted in the first round and had all the promise in the world. Came in, and who can forget his first touchdown pass in Tampa Bay to the great number 39, Leonard Thompson, who I think we just lost this year or last year. Just one of my he made me a Lions fan, him and Billy Sims, because the number 39 for a wide receiver was so cool. That touchdown pass, we thought, oh my goodness. I mean, Chuck Long to Leonard Thompson, we're gonna win playoffs. First round pick. It was Mark Champion with the call. It was incredible. I mean, I still remember they showed that pass all the time.
Is that 1987?
86, I believe.
So it was rookie season, 86?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong on the years, 85, 86, but I thought it was 86.
86 is right.
It was just, it's just unbelielievable. 87 is when they took Reggie Rogers and he killed the family drunk driving. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on and on. But anyways, I called about the Lions the NFL schedule. Listen, I'm going to give you an unpopular take, which I don't really care because it's my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't really care what anybody thinks. But the NFL, we all love football. We do. Now, some love baseball, some love hockey, some love it all, But some just love. We just love. But the NFL, I'm telling you this. They keep up this crap of overkilling the draft, overkilling the schedule countdown, overkilling these games and switching this and switching that. I'm telling you, within 5 years, people are going to tune out more and more of the NFL. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You got a good product. You got a great product, excuse me, and you're doing things good. The teams are doing all the work on the field. No matter what the NFL tries to do, it's the teams on the field that are really drawing the fans in. You keep changing this and changing that and going here and going there. I'm telling you, you're going to turn off fans. Listen, I watched the first round of the draft. I had no interest in watching the second, third, fourth round.
I couldn't agree with you more. I swear to God, I could not agree with you more. This pomp and circus, the circus, the dog and pony show for dude, we're here for football. All this other nonsense, I don't give a rat's behind about whatever programs you have going on in the off season or what kind of engagement and activation and all this other crap. I don't care. I don't care that you move the draft around. I don't want the people up there yelling and screaming. Get the commissioner up there. Here's what it is. Pick number 1, play the chime, boom. Here's the pick. Let's keep it moving. I am with you. This whole idea of sports turning more into like entertainment in like days of our lives, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Your team sucks. Guess what? No one's going to go. No one's going to go. They're not going to care. Your fan base will be apathetic. It is what it is. Like this is the best postseason the NBA's had because it looks like everybody's got some guys that can play. It's been pretty hard nosed. Guys care. They're playing hard. We can't get them to do it during the regular season. Stanley Cup is its own. It's just absolute mass chaos, and I love it. That's great. Just play the game.
And I know you got another caller, but last thing they talk so much about the draft. When the draft day came, it was like, all right, who are the Lions picking? And let's move on because you guys already told us everything about the draft 5 months prior. And then when the schedule came out, the minute I saw the Lions schedule, I'm like, okay, I'm done. What am I sitting here? Like, I really care about the Tampa Bay schedule. I mean, give me a break. I mean, it's overkill, and the streaming stuff. Please don't do it because I just want to watch the games. See you later.
Freddie, if you haven't left yet, you still there? He's listening. But those quarterbacks he's talking about, technically for games they were active for, 0-5 in the playoffs.
Oh,
Chuck Long was on the 91 team of the win over Dallas, but he was inactive for that game and was active for the next week. But so, I mean, yeah, he was on the team, but he was not an active member of that roster for that week.
Chuck Long played in 27 games in his career. 27. How crazy is that? The 87 season, he started 12 games, 11 touchdowns and 20 picks. My God. With a 55% completion percentage. Let's get to GR Joe. We kind of up against it, but we got about a minute left. GR Joe, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, my man?
What's happening, partner? You doing all right today?
Yeah, you doing all right?
Yeah, life is good.
You asked me to call in last week, but I had to do a presentation for the state, and so I didn't have time for the lacrosse story on Pontiac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the anniversary is actually coming up on June 2nd. It happened on June 2nd, 1761. And it's important to understand that the Anishinaabe people of Michigamme at that time, we had a close relationship with the French, and we viewed the British as enemies or combatants and untrustworthy. And we had an excellent trade relationship with the French because they didn't come here to colonize, right? And so as the British were coming, they wanted to colonize, and my people were losing. We were losing our lands and resources and hunting grounds and things like that. And we used to play this game called lacrosse, and the British soldiers would watch. It was like, they viewed us as inferior, so it was a game to them to watch us battle each other. And so Pontiac took that and made a plan to overtake the fort. And how they did it was we had all our Quays, our women, bring in weapons, underneath their shawls or their skirts. While the men were playing lacrosse as a distraction, Pontiac and the other Ogeechee Dazzles warriors overtook the fort, and they almost got to the king, but he got off, hiding in a basement in one of the French quarters as he was getting ready to prepare for a trip to Montreal.
Wow, you guys Trojan horsed them.
Yeah, right. And so for a year, the fort sat abandoned until, the British came in and retook it over. And then they abandoned it just because it's in a non-strategical place, right? Because it's on flat grounds. It doesn't even, you can't see nothing over that sea, right, or that water. Wow. So they eventually abandoned it because of that and how vulnerable it was. But yeah, it was all three of the three fires, and we also had the Sox with us because that's who we were playing in that lacrosse game. And yeah, man, that's the story of Fort Michilimack, though. And like I said, I was just super busy last week, so I couldn't call in.
GR Joe, man, I love it. The lacrosse game that ended up in a Trojan horse. They took over a fort. We appreciate the history lesson this morning, Joe. I love it. We'll see you next week with another one, huh? Shall we? We'll be right back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium Buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
From planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online. BeanGarter.com. Bean Garter.
MSNBC guessing.
Go.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros. Reading the news right now. Man, I tell you what, this is it's quite a statement here. I don't believe that depending on look, Florida's not going to be a terrorist state. All right, it seems to be like this large, like I don't know, propaganda machine that's running about Florida. I was just there. It's fine. Just less television, less internet. Better off for society as a whole. Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Wow, what a headline that was. Text the keyword sports radio, send it to 21,000, or call us on the Myers Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176. Here's the head coach, Mike Malone, on the evolution of Nikola Jokic, as America was a winner last night. Yes, we were. Some fresh blood in the finals, with Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets pulling off their first ever franchise sweep. So congratulations on the sweep portion, and first ever trip to the NBA Finals.
I think, life is about moments, and you have to enjoy them, but you also, I think it's important, Harrison, to your point, to reflect. How do we get here? And now it's just, hugging Josh and Stan Kroenke, because we all know in this business, patience is not a word that comes easily. And for them to have patience after that third year, 46-win effort that came up just short of the playoffs, they saw something in Nikola, in Jamal, and myself, and allowed it to come to fruition. That's a rarity in this business. You talk about Nikola. I always think about this and laugh, because that first summer league in Vegas, 300 pounds, out of shape. He's a nice player. No one ever could have seen that he'd be a two-time MVP, passing Will Chamberlain, it seems like every other night. And that speaks to his dedication to his craft, getting in great shape, and understanding for him to fulfill his potential, he had to work harder, and he's done that. And what I love most about Nikola, aside from his great play and the consistency, is that he's never changed. Like, success, money, fame has never changed that guy, and that's a rarity in this business, as we all know. And celebrating with his brothers Nemanja and Strahina, having gone over to Serbia so many times, I'm just so thankful for the relationship, because, like I try to have with all my players, it's not just coach-player. Like, I love Nikola. I love who he is as a man, as a husband, as a father, and just he's a great representative of our organization.
Wow, that's some really strong praise there from Mike Malone, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets.
Also with Jokic, 8th triple-double last night in the postseason, most all-time in one postseason for a player, past Wilt Chamberlain.
That he did. En route to a Western Conference Finals most valuable player, the Magic Johnson Award. So good for Jokic, good for us. Right? And I hate to be that person that tries to, I don't want to shuffle LeBron James out of the NBA. Because I remember the first time that somebody had retired that it was like, whoa, wait a minute now. Right? Do you remember the first player that retired that was like, oh man, they're not going to play anymore? There were two really big ones for me personally. On the football side of things, it would have been Barry Sanders. Because what do you mean he's not going to play anymore? What does retirement even mean? What do you speak of?
What do you mean you don't have to work anymore?
Yeah, what do you mean? You're just leaving? Like, you can do that? You can just leave? So that was one.
And then your mother said, no, you can't just leave.
You're
stuck here forever.
No one gets out. There's only two ways out. And Shaquille O'Neal was one. Michael Jordan was one. Where it's like, man, they're never and sometimes guys will retire, unretire. Like, there's a little bit more of that now, where guys are just a little bit unsure of what they want to do in the next phase of their life, which is totally understandable, right? These are massive decisions that are changing these guys' lives when you decide to hang it up. And the league will look a lot different when LeBron James is out. Now, whatever kind of career LeBron James Jr. has, it's, he'll be a one and done at USC. That's basically kind of set in stone already that's going to happen. And then from there, maybe you get LeBron James to play with his son. It's something that has been, theorized and talked about a lot. It's something that, years ago when it was like, man, when will LeBron James retire? And it's like, he's going to try to do the Ken Griffey thing. He absolutely, because that's the one thing that MJ can't say, right? And that was more when it was like LeBron versus Jordan. Now, I mean, like whoever you like, what do I care? But it's the idea that the league will no longer have him. Like last night he gave all he could. He gave everything that he could last night. And they still came up short. And there were plays that years ago he would have elevated and dunked in last night. He settled for a layup. And the guy had 40 points. LeBron James did 40 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, only 1 turnover. Was 15 of 25 from the field. Was 4 of 7 from 3. Was 6 of 7 from the free throw line. And the group chat, they're talking about he didn't do enough. I'm like, no, everybody else didn't do enough. Anthony Davis didn't do enough.
Didn't.
Even though he's 9 of 10 from the stripe.
Right, but going into the fourth quarter, I think his stat line was 13 and 11. And he had most of those free throws in the fourth quarter where it's like, yeah, that you're not going to win this game if you're going into the fourth at 13 and 11 and you just blew a 15-point lead in the third quarter. And I know LeBron has to do this due to his age, was actively resting in that third quarter on the court.
He was trying to.
He was trying and then didn't get help from anyone where it's like, come on.
Somebody make a play. Late in the game, he draws his defender. He kicks to Schroeder. Schroeder tries to kick it to the corner. The ball gets tipped out of bounds. It's like, man, there was, I don't even know, maybe 40 seconds on the game clock, and he's dribbling around. It's like, dude, what's the play here? And Van Gundy said it, like, you got to go 2 for 1. Like, yeah, you got to get to the basket. And he just didn't have that next gear that he used to have, and that's because of look at the amount of time he spent in the league. The tread is off the tires, man. Like, it just is what it is. And it's tough it is kind of difficult to watch, a guy who's been around for so long, a guy that you kind of watch grow up, and the trials, the tribulations, the decision, the bouncing around from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to the Lakers, and what's going to be his legacy, and blah, 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 blah. But it is pretty it's pretty interesting now to hear him be asked about it afterwards and, say he's not really sure about what his future will hold.
Or is he pulling an Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers, 100%. James in Burton is on hold right now. He's got a question for me. Go ahead, James. What's happening, my friend?
Well, actually, Anthony, I have a little history lesson for you, too.
Oh, really? What do you got?
Well, just want to tell you, 89 years ago today, Bonnie and Clyde were ambushed. And in Gibbsland, Louisiana, and I told you about a month ago, I was in the school book depository where President Kennedy was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
And I also was down there, too. But anyways.
Who were Bonnie and Clyde ambushed by?
Frank Hamer and about 6 different detectives, policemen.
Yeah, so that's not, apprehended or arrested. Your ambush would be like they walked into like
they were ambushed. They were they were Sonny Corleone.
That's what they call it, an ambush. It was,
they got shot and killed, Anthony. Like they waited for it. That's an ambush.
That's what happens when you go around robbing banks. Like you want to do the crime, you got to be prepared to do the time. There's consequences to those decisions.
But no question about it. They had killed 13 people.
And look at how they ended up.
Yeah. Well, Bonnie never shot a gun, but she was just a tag along. But now the trivial stuff, and I just wanted to ask you, man. You guys know, is the Tiger game on TV anywhere Friday?
Should be.
It's on Apple TV. It's a subscription. Oh. Yes.
Apple TV again.
Unfortunately, yes. Friday evening, yes.
I don't know, man. I tell you, if they win the next 3 games, including tonight, I might just drive down there.
I think you could do the 7-day free trial. If you haven't exhausted that one already.
Yeah.
James, man, we appreciate the call. We got to hit the break. We're back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. A day that is unmistakably yours, at the place that is undeniably spectacular. Whether you're winning big, dining lavishly, or relaxing oh so comfortably, it's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium Buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids, and now they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew. Now, Doran Mayhew is an east side firm. Now you get the west side of Michigan with Bean Carter, and whether you're a small business or big business, they can handle all of your accounting and business needs at Bean Carter. Just go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And I mentioned with their new partnership with Doran Mayhew, they cover all of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast. Find out how the pros at Bean Carter can help your business today. Go to beancarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And I know Tom Rosenbach and his team are so happy about their new partnership with Doran Mayhew.
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you ride along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening. Should have some good weather today, which means it's great to get the sticks out and swing them around a little bit. Golf season here. Matt Golden and his team are ready to welcome you with open arms to one of the best golfing experiences in the great state of Michigan. Tullymore Golf Resort and Canadian Lakes offering now one of the two championship courses, Tullymore and St. Ives. It's located about an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant. It's up north golf without the drive and has the lodging to be able to cater to you, your partner, your foursome, up to 400 of your closest friends and family. Tullymore not only features top-line golf, but also top-line accommodations in the perfect space for a wedding event, reception, or group outing. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's Matt Golden's number, 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. Cannot say thank you enough. You know, guys like Dale, the response that Tullymore got from our Northwest Ohio affiliate was just simply fantastic down at the Toledo Golf Show that we were at. They were so happy with the amount of people that had taken the trip up because they heard about Tullymore here on the show, and they took the trip up and were able to play the two courses, Tullymore and St. Ives, and the amount of people that requested information, while they were at the golf show. That's just that's incredible stuff, man. We really appreciate it. Those people that are, willing and able to advertise their products here on this program. Our goal is to hopefully put together a fun and entertaining and intelligent show each morning, and one that you guys and gals enjoy. And then, for our advertising partners to come back through and, be willing to spend with us is awesome. Bonnie never shot a gun, but she will get half. She will get half when they divorce. Anthony in Toledo. That's right. That's right. Never shot a gun. Still getting a half. Didn't make a single putt. I don't know if that person's mocking me or if that's really a guy named Anthony in Toledo. But either way, you're absolutely right. X's and Bros turn into the History Channel today. I like that. Stan Kroenke, another title. Who's a better player, Stafford or Jokic? So that would be like our debates would be Stafford versus Jokic would be like ESPN LeBron and Aaron Rodgers coverage, right? Same principle, just a little different. Hey, the NBA wasn't the only thing on television though last night. We have another 3-0 lead in the conference finals. Are you kidding me right now? The Florida Panthers in Sunrise last night got a 1-0 dub over the Carolina Hurricanes. Speaking of Carolina Hurricanes, there is a super typhoon headed towards Guam right now. That's taking place. We're looking at 160 knots, I think is what I just read, or 140 knots, which is 260 kilometers per hour. So that doesn't bode well for the people there. So, best of luck to the folks that are going to have to deal with that today while we argue about sports over here. But Carolina loses on the road in Game 3, do-or-die situation, just about all that's dead. Look, you go down 0-2. I'm not saying you can't come back because it's happened before. It can happen. It's possible, but it doesn't make it probable. And there's a drastic difference between the two. And the Florida Panthers take care of business again, this time on home ice. At least they didn't have to go into overtime like their first two contests. But, I mean, oh, my goodness. If you are Carolina, if you are watching the playoffs right now, did you know the Vegas Golden Knights have an opportunity to go up 3-0 in their series? That game is going to drop the puck at 8 p.m. tonight. Vegas could go up 3-0. And when I say this right now, this might all go out the window, because we still have another game left to play between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. That will also be tonight at 8:30 on TNT. If Vegas goes up 3-0, and hey, look, they took care of business at home, that series shifts to Dallas. They got to win a road game. So they're in the same position Miami was in. And Miami wins tonight. It's got to be the first time in NBA history that the conference finals has been swept. It's got to be the first time.
It would be the first time in NBA history where both conference finals were swept.
Okay, so that's confirmed. It would. I don't know of another time where the Eastern and Western Conference finals in the Stanley Cup playoffs have both been sweeps. But we might be witnessing history here, folks. We might have the conference finals in both of these playoffs. Everything be a sweep.
Yeah, hockey's a little different because, it's not just players making plays. It's puck luck. It's goalies being, standing on their head, as they say. Basketball, though, especially these series, it was like, it was pretty obvious Denver maybe wasn't going to get the sweep, but they were clearly the better team. And Miami is, they're like a
clearly
unstoppable force right now. Yeah.
Clearly the better team.
But yeah, it's just like in hockey, you lose 2-1 4 times. It's a little different than, losing 120 to 85 4 times.
Yeah, in hockey is much, much different than basketball, right? Larger roster sizes, longer game, more difficult to score, full contact. Like, yes, I understand the outliers there, but have both conference finals ever been sweeps? Because that's what we're looking at. And this could all go out the window here in less than 12 hours, right? But I'm saying to have all 4 of the conference finals series matchups between the NBA and the NHL all be sweeps, what are the odds of that happening?
Very small, but you know what? If they all take care of business this week, we can all enjoy Memorial Day weekend, do what we want, be outside, and then next week, just be ready for the finals for each sport, then great.
Do you know when the Stanley Cup finals begin?
Probably the day after or day before the NBA.
The NBA finals, I don't believe, start until June 1st.
Yeah, which will be next Thursday.
That is insane. That's insane.
Okay, so I'm just looking based on since 87 in 92 both semifinals were sweeps.
In the NHL?
Yes.
And they were 7-game series?
June 3rd is the Stanley Cup Finals start date.
And that looks like the only time that both were sweeps.
So
At least from since 1987 that I can tell.
Okay. Wow, where'd you find that at?
I'm just looking. Some dude did the research, Puck Report, based on round. So he did a preliminary, quarterfinal, semifinal, final.
Okay. And I wonder if those are in 1992 where they had to be 7-game series, right? Or were they 5?
I'll have to check.
Wow. That's impressive. So it has happened on the Stanley Cup. At least we know there has been a sweep of both conference finals in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And
good
just
research there.
Looking at the schedule, the NBA Finals Game 1 will be June 1st. Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 will be June 3rd. Game 2 of the NBA Finals is the next day, June 4th. So there's going to be no crossovers, thankfully.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that they worked that out.
So at least, give us Memorial Day weekend to have our fun. And then next weekend we'll be locked in Saturday night to Stanley Cup, Sunday afternoon to NBA.
And I'm if it ends up being Florida in Vegas, for example, right? The state of Nevada versus the state of Florida, Sunrise, Florida versus Las Vegas, Nevada, the Knights versus the Panthers, 2 great states.
By the way, those 2 teams, it was the Mario Lemieux Penguins with the sweep in 92 and the Jeremy Roenick Blackhawks.
Wow.
Had a sweep in the conference finals that year.
Jeremy Roenick probably played golf with Jordan before that game. Jordan drank a case of beer, went out and got 50. Roenick completed a sweep. Look, I would be fine with that matchup. I'd much rather see, I'd rather see Vegas. I don't know. It kind of hurts a little bit because they're a newer franchise and, they've had some good success. So, but I'm good with the Florida Panthers. The Dallas Stars don't do a whole lot for me. They really don't. Neither do the Carolina Hurricanes, except for their coach, Rod Brindamore. But let's be honest, they're not going to win that series. They're not coming back from down 3-0. Bobrovsky's been playing really well. And, you get Bob in the net, guy with some experience. I think it's going to be, I'm all for it. Like good for the Florida Panthers, which Sunrise, Florida is not Miami. It's like northwest of Miami. So very comparable to where the distance may be between downtown Detroit and the Palace of Auburn Hills. Kind of like the same sort of feel there. That's why they're, the Florida Panthers and not the Miami Panthers. But all in all, like Florida Vegas would be the matchup that I'd want to see. I wanted to see Nuggets Heat. Like that's what I want to see. And we're gonna get the pivotal game 4 here. Maybe the closure that we need this evening, which I am very excited about, because if the Miami Heat are able to do this, what I like about the Miami Heat is they got a bunch of guys that play really hard. And they have their star in Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler doesn't seem to be to me, he's just a really likable character. Like, he doesn't seem to be concerned with all this other nonsense. He plays hard.
Did you
he plays
see
to
his
win, makes all the
Instagram
plays.
after Game 3?
No, what was on his Instagram?
So there's just a bunch of pictures from, the game. But the first picture of his photos was the Al Horford timeout imitation. Picture 2 is after he was fouled and pointing right at Grant Williams. No, I don't think there was a caption on the post. It was just.
Do I have to go follow Jimmy? I'm not a big follow athletes on Instagram guy, but you might have me searching this right now, because that's kind of what I want. 8.6 million. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the T. Yep, and there's a video.
Yeah, then just some
teammates.
Clips and other pictures from the game.
Yeah, that's cool. He seems to be he seems to be the kind of guy that once he knows you're committed, he'll love you. But I think that was really the big issue that the Philadelphia 76ers had, was that he, much like Minnesota, right, knew that the guys there didn't have the mental makeup, because at the end of the day, everyone's making a ton of money. And I say this a million times on this program. Everyone's making a lot of money. And what is going to separate you, and this is why, like, Draymond Green's whole narrative of the new media, like, I can't stand, because we are the ones that kind of we're the gatekeepers, right? We're the ones that are watching this, and we can give an opinion on X, Y, and Z. Where I'm looking at, LeBron James at 38 years old last night, and where's Anthony Davis? And all the time people are telling me how great he is. And yeah, he can go for 40. He's 7 feet tall. He should be able to do that. Like 40 and 20, I'm not saying it should be regular, because those are insane numbers, but you should be able to do that.
But in your most needed game of the year,
when the lights get the brightest, when do you shine? Right? I don't need to see, and it bothers me because the NBA regular season, they're trying so hard to recreate what soccer has. You're never going to do it, so it doesn't matter. I don't need a tournament where guys can play for more money. What separates the good from really great are the guys that can win. That's why it matters. Jason Tatum is a very talented player. Someone had said, what about Damian Lillard to the Celtics? I would be good with Damian Lillard to the Celtics, because as good as Jason Tatum is, from a talent perspective, they don't have that voice. We talked about this yesterday. Damian Lillard could be that guy. He could be that guy. Jimmy Butler, I feel is not only the best player on the floor from a talent perspective, but he's also the guy who is lead by example. I'm going to show you exactly what I've been talking about. I'm going to dive for the loose ball. I'm going to lock in defensively. I'm going to move the ball. I'm going to move without it. I'm going to share it with my teammate. He's just that's a guy I want to build teams around, is a guy that has a love for team. Some people just love being a part of a team. And you find this all the time in youth sports too. You'll have the kid that's super talented but doesn't work very hard. You'll have the kid that has no talent whatsoever but works very hard and loves to be a part of something. And to be honest with you, that other kid with no talent that works hard is a whole hell of a lot more enjoyable to coach. And then once in a while, you'll get a kid that is very gifted and knows that, like, can see the forest from the trees, is a little bit ahead and knows that, hey, I got to absorb everything. I have to get better. And I have to do this for my team. We had a kid like that who was, his family just a bunch of trees, right? They're all huge. Mom's 6'3", 6'4", right? And so he's, I think he's 6'7" now. But at the time, like, even as a fifth grader, like, he was this tall, very, very slender, like Kevin Durant style kid. He was our most talented player and arguably our smartest player, but also wanted to work hard at it. He wanted to actively get better. And he made other people around him better. Like, Nikola Jokic gets the basketball. There was a great pass that he threw. That it was late in the game, and Gordon catches it, and he ends up, I don't know if he was able to complete the dunk or if he ended up getting fouled on the play. But it's like Jokic is such a willing passer. He's such a willing passer. And when you are a willing passer as the star player, that makes everybody else around you more confident. And when you are more confident, like when your supporting cast is more confident, they're going to perform better. You got to believe that. Now, there are times where the star guy's got to be the star guy, and Jimmy Butler's going to have to get the ball. Sometimes that's going to lead to a Jimmy Butler shot. Sometimes that's going to lead to him making the correct basketball play, which for a lot of times LeBron James took some heat for in his early days. Last night, he gets a one-on-one matchup at closing moments of the game with a 7-foot center that isn't nearly as quick as he is, even at his age. He had plenty of space to pull up for the three. He kicked it to Dennis Schroeder. Don't know if I would have done that. With the amount of space that Jokic was giving him, he wasn't even defending him. He let him be out there.
And then go to the last play of the game where he has Aaron Gordon on him, and Jamal Murray takes the right play by abandoning his man. And thankfully they didn't call foul because they called a foul on everything last night.
Ugh,
but Murray gets his hand right on the ball and gives Gordon a chance to block the feeble shot attempt in the last half second.
Clamped him up. The Eastern Conference Finals, will it be a sweep? Find out tonight and log into the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the association. Get on the excitement tonight. New customers make a $5 pregame moneyline bet. Score $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Plus, everyone can score a no-sweat same-game parlay during the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. Open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place the same-game parlay on the game. If it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. Now, if you or somebody knows a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus. Michigan only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in is required. One bonus bet issued based on the amount of the initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions to apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. For Dana, Round, and Anthony, see you tomorrow, same time, same place on the Michigan Sports Network.
At Mercantile Bank, we believe supporting the communities we serve is a vital part of who we are. Our team is here to make a positive impact, a real difference, and we're always looking for leaders to join our team because we're not just a bank, we're a partner, here to support what matters most. Come grow with us. Visit mercbank.com to learn more and let's support our community together. Mercantile Bank, member FDIC, equal opportunity employer.
Shop everything you need for Memorial Day with one stop at Meijer. Get buy one, get one free 80% lean ground beef. Buy 5, save $5 on Aunt Millie's Stadium Buns, Coca-Cola or Pepsi 24-pack, plus deposit where applicable. Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and Lay's potato chips. Plus, have fun in the sun with 40% off the entire stock of swimwear for the family. Celebrate together and get the same prices online and in-store this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
From planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at freddythepizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com. Or email freddythepizzaman@gmail.com.